Hello friends, welcome to ASP.NET tutorial. Now we are at the final part of the subseries ASP.NET repeater control. In this video, we will implement the NavigateUrl via second repeater control. So in the previous video, we set up the query string, right? Now we will make use of this query string as a input for the second repeater control. I mean, the second repeater control in the sense we can state that we have a first data source that is for type, right? This is the first data source, and this supplies data to the repeater control. We can say repeater 1, right? For first repeater 1, the type is setting the data, and here using this repeater control we are forming the hyperlinks HL1, hyperlink 2, hyperlink 3, right? So we are forming the hyperlink, and there is second data source that is for book title. Right, we created two SQL data source. So far we used the first data source only, and second one is for book title. The first one filtered distinct of book type. Now this one, whatever user selects, right, as part of the query string we will be having the book type. So that book type we will feed it to the second data source. Second data source will know the book type selected by the user as part of the query string. This is the category, right? So it filters out the data, right? If this is the complete list based on the book type, it will filter the data. So this filtering condition is coming through this query string. That means as part of this data source itself, we have to configure this filtering criteria to use the query string. Previously, we used the data source to take input from one more data source, right? But this time we are using the query string. Previously, in the sense, in this course, we used this kind of bindings many times. But this time we are using the query string. Alright, now title will have the filtered data, and we can attach this to the repeater 2. And repeater 2 now know what data to fetch, right? So it knows this is the filtered data, and using the repeater control the way you want, you can display it. Alright, now let's go here, and if you see, this time we are using, this is the repeater 1. The first one we named it as RP type, I guess. This time we are using the default name. If you want, you can change the repeater control name, and if you see, it is using the DS titles, right? The second data source is bound to the repeater control. So in the header template, we are just showing a list of books, and if you see, we are using the ordered list. That means we want to display it as 1, 2, 3 like this, right? We are not using, if you want bulleted, you can use unordered list UL, but here we are using the YL tag to have the numbered list items. So that's there in the header template, and if you look at the footer template, you will just close this ordered list tag, right? So we already used a header and footer template. By this time you are aware of how it will get rendered by the repeater control. Header template will get rendered only once. Footer template also get rendered only once. Before navigating through the item or alternate item template, whatever is there in the header template that get rendered. After navigating all the record and rendering the item as well as alternate item templates, the content in the footer template will get rendered. We saw that when we are using the alternate item template in the systems areas. Now, if you look at the item template, we set list style as large, right? OL. So these are all simple HTML. We have the OL tag, right? And inside OL, we can have multiple list items, right? The same goes for UL as well. UL is unordered list. Usually it will display the bulleted points. So we formed OL tag in the header and we finished it in the footer, and in the item template we are forming the list item, and by making use of the evaluate we are just printing the title. So if you see, this title is supplied by the data source, and we know that this data source is filtered based on the query string which we supply. So far we haven't yet filtered this content. When we go to demo, we have to adjust this data source to make use of the query string and filter the data. That we will see when we go to the demo, but this is what we will implement for the second repeater control. And if you see, we have header template, item template, and footer template. If you want to use alternate item template, you can use that also to differentiate the records. But we already saw that, and I don't want to repeat that here. Alright, now let's go to the demo. Now we will go to the DTS title and configure it. Pubs connection string. Actually, we dropped this as part of first or second video in this sub-series, but we haven't yet configured it. So now it's time to configure and use the query string. So we need to filter titles table, and we want to display only the title as well as type. We don't want to display all the records, but we want to display specific record that falls in specific category, which is selected by the user based on this hyperlinks. Now we will click where condition and choose column as type. We want to filter this data source based on type. The operator is matching operator equal to source. We are giving query string. In all our previous videos we used control, but this time we are using query string. And query string field is I forgot the query string name. We will I think BK cat. Now I remember BK category. So that's the query string, right? BK cat equal to, we substituted the evaluate expression there, right? So BK cat is the query string field name. Default value, we can give it as empty. Right? Now we can add this expression. And we will click OK. Now we set filter condition for our data source. So click next here. and finish. So we configured the second data source. This is our first repeater, right? Now we will drag and drop second repeater control, right? And we will set data source as ds title. We will save the content, and when we go to source, so this is the first repeater control that displays the menu item. This is the second repeater control. Here we will have a h2 tag, or we can even use the templates. Here we can go for a header template. Since it renders the content only one time, we can place our heading tag here, header template, and we need item template, and we need a footer template pair. Right. So as part of header template, we will be having the h3 tag. So that just tells list of books on the selected category. So here we are forming the OL tag, and we will end that in the footer section. So unordered list and list item, we are giving it as part of the item template. Right, that's all. We completed our example. Now we can browse the content. So if you see list of book on the selected category business, and if you see business since the BK cat equal to business, you can see that in the bottom left corner of this browser window. Now when I select, it shows all the books on that specific category, right? Similarly, for mod cook, we may be having some book, and you can see how the repeater control, two repeater control is working, right? So this one you can display in whatever format you want. Here we just used the unordered, ordered list. You can use table or even your own HTML designed in a nice way using the CSS with the left right panels, right? So whatever way you want, you can display the content. But here we just learned how to form the hyperlink and how to navigate the information to the second repeater control. That's all. We are ending this sub-series. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Bye.